Hey guys, it's June and the first week has come and gone. What did I do? Hey guys, if you are new here, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole, and if this isn't your first rodeo, thank you guys for sticking around. So basically, yeah, the first week of June has come and gone. As you know, I was trying to finish up my last book for May. I ended up finishing that the first to second day of June, and that was Court of Ravens and Ruin by Eliza Reign. This one I ended up giving 4 stars. It was really interesting because it was inspired by like Norse mythology. So you had like some of the Norse deities like Thor and Odin. But basically you have this world where there's like 4 or 5 kingdoms, and they're all like fey kingdoms, and they have magical powers, but their magic is given to them by different metals. So you have our main character who is named Reyna, and she is part of the gold kingdom, and she is one of the few human classes, because you have the fey that oversee the humans, and some of the humans are rare in the fact that they can create with the metals per that realm. So Reyna can create things with gold. It like talks to her. So she's kind of special and cared for. She wants out. She wants out of the kingdom. She wants to kind of run away, and she's been kind of wanting to do that like stealthy. She's been saving up stuff. And right around the time she's planning to do this, the prince of her kingdom, who is vile in almost every way you can think of, summons all these women to choose a concubine, basically. And he settles on Reyna, and he likes the idea that Reyna has this ability to, for lack of better terms, like bend gold, because that will affect the staff or magical, they use magical staffs or scepters, and she will be able to repair that as well as do other things for him. So they're trying to, her and like a few of the people that are also kind of these gold benders, plan to like leave and run away. And at the point that they're trying to run away, the shadow realm or the shadow kingdom comes in. And they are rumored to be like nightmarish, very macabre, very dangerous, like almost demonic in a way. And they come with the sole idea that they need to find Reyna, and find her they do, and they basically kidnap her and her friends and throw her in a boat, and they are off to the Shadow Kingdom. The Prince of the Shadow Court basically needs her. She doesn't know why. There's something afoot. He needs her for something, her ability to bend gold, and the only way to kind of protect her in the Shadow Realm is to form a bond with her, form a fake bond with her to announce that she is his betrothed. They're going to get married. They are in love. So you have that concept of it. And Reyna all this time is still trying to figure out a way to break out in this Shadow Kingdom, escape them, go wherever, and live free with her friends. All the while finding out that she is some loophole, some sort of key to this ancient kind of proverb or something that is needed to find I don't even know what. So there were a lot of empty questions, or questions that were left unanswered in this, which is part of the reason why it was a 4-star and not a 5-star. The spice in it was about a 3 to a 4. Nothing really happens, but there is kind of a mutual stimulation scene that can be pretty spicy, but no contact really happens between them. What I really liked about it is you had this really kind of interesting setting with the different fey kingdoms. You don't see too much of the gold, but you see a lot of kind of the macabre, gray, dark, almost nightmarish landscape of the Shadow Kingdom, and like the Shadow Court. And you also like see kind of the Shadow Queen, and the only way that she kind of comes up to me is like a female version of gosh, what's his name? the Headless Horseman in the Sleepy Hollow movies, the one with Johnny Depp, Christopher Walken plays the Headless Horseman, and now he's got those like filed down teeth and everything. They kind of explain her the same way, the Shadow Queen, and it's kind of like I loved the description of Yggdrasil, or like the tree of life, and how they are going to there's different doors for different kingdoms, and like just kind of the magical aspect of what it was like being in the root system of Yggdrasil. I also loved there is a talking owl in it, and just his little like conceited arrogance at being an owl and knowing everything was just like the cutest thing. So I enjoyed it. I think it's part of a duology, so I will be picking up the second one because I am curious enough to see where it goes. It does leave off on a cliffhanger. But just a very interesting kind of concept twist to the Fae world with this kind of Norse mythology undertones. So, was pretty interesting. Yeah. So, finished that one, and that I counted as May at the like my last book of May, because I really only had like maybe 40 to 80 pages left to read in the beginning of June, so wasn't enough to really count it in a June book. But starting up for all our readathons in June, my first book up was Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. As you know, I've been wanting to read this for a while. It was giving me major Pillow Talk vibes. And it really was kind of like Pillow Talk in the sense that you had the enemies to lovers, and then like the kind of cutesy flirtation going on without them knowing who they were. This basically takes place, I think down in like Tennessee, or somewhere around like middle, like Tennessee, Missouri type area. And you basically have Olivia Marshall, who, for me, she will give Bridget Jones a run for her money. She is just hazard prone, and basically she caught her boyfriend cheating on her and goes to burn his love letters and ends up basically setting her whole apartment building on fire. And so she's running away from Chicago, where she was living, to come back home. She is now kind of the unwanted guest in her brother's apartment with her brother and her brother's best friend, Colin Beck. And Colin is like he's like the hot, really rich guy that just has everything together, has a good job, just elite, you know? And so they're polar opposites, and they start, unbeknownst to them, they start texting each other in a mishap that is fun, flirty, you know, just the topics they come up with are hysterical. And it's fun. And obviously Colin finds out who she is before she does. And it's just kind of like him trying to be like, I shouldn't talk to her. All the while them kind of starting to fall for each other in the real world as well. And just kind of like the romantic rom-com escapades that kind of happen with that, because she just cannot stop digging her hole deeper and deeper, and just the stuff she gets into. This one I ended up rating 4 stars. It was about 3 to 4 in the spice scale as well, because there were some spicy scenes. Stuff does happen, but it's not fully detailed, but it's not really a fade to black either. So, did have some spice. But other than that, it wasn't enough to bring me into 5-star mode. I liked Colin more than I liked Olivia. She kind of got on my nerves from time to time, because it was a lot of times I felt like it was almost her way or the highway in a lot of scenarios. Like she couldn't understand their shades to gray to different thoughts and different like scenarios. So that kind of got annoying. Plus the fact that, like I said, she could just not stop putting herself in these situations that just, like I said, Bridget Jones would, you know, it's a competition between the two on who's destined for mishaps. But this one basically, I have my little notes here. This one basically was for the Magical Readathon. I finished this one for my female character, Azraelyn, to visit the locked library, which was to read a book you already owned. So easy enough. And this also fulfilled the prompt for Clear Your Shit Readathon, which was the Empress card. and that was to read a book that made you feel good. And like I said, even though it wasn't a 5-star for me, I thought it was funny. It had me giggling at parts. Apparently there is a second book in this series. It doesn't involve these characters. It's a brand new cast, but it's kind of just in the world of this book. And I'll probably be looking forward to reading it because I do like the kind of comedy and the funny quips and things that happened and were discussed and what the writer brought forth. So once again, 4 stars and 2 prompts down. So the next book that I read was The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. And this one was a 4 stars for both just pure enjoyment and spice levels. There were some spicy scenes. Once again, nothing too detailed or graphic, but not fade to black either. In this, you have a quiet little fictitious town outside of Atlanta, Georgia, up kind of in the mountains, that is really a town for witches. And there are magic ley lines in the ground that kind of serve the purpose of all the kind of magic in the air, or the witches that live there to perform their magic. And you have a girl named Vivian Jones, they call her Vivi, and she lives with her cousin Gwen and her Aunt Elaine. Her parents have passed away. They don't really tell you how, but she comes to them as a teenager, and she's known that she was a witch, but her mom kind of shied away from using the craft powers, and now she's in this witchy town with her relatives that use it, and she's trying to learn how to do it. She goes to her first festival, witchy festival in the summer, and she meets Reese Penhallow, who is a descendant of the founder of Penhallow, which is where the story takes place. And they have this whirlwind romance over the course of the summer, and he breaks her heart, and it's in a kind of a confusion way. And while she is just wallowing in this breakup, her and her cousin decide to fake curse him. Flash forward 9 years, and Reese now has to come back to Penhallow because there is a festival that is going on around the time of Halloween, and the ley lines need to be charged, and only a Penhallow can do that. So Reese comes back where he doesn't really want to because he never got over Vivi, and of course Vivi never got over him. As soon as he gets to Penhallow, weird things start happening, and you find out that the fake curse that Vivi and her cousin cast on Reese actually came to pass, but it only affects him while he's at Penhallow. So there's all these kind of goofy antics that happen that remind me of the Goosebumps movie with I think it was Jack Black in it. And you had just all the toys, the gummy bear scene and everything. And this kind of just reminded me of it, just these weird kind of funny antics that were going on because everything just kind of goes haywire in this town. And so it's just kind of them trying to solve the curse, fix the curse while kind of fighting their unrequited love for each other in just a variety of funny little ways. And so it was really cute. To me, it was like a Hallmark holiday rom-com movie with just a hint of supernatural spice. I think that's what I put in Goodreads anyway. But it was actually really entertaining. I really did enjoy it. It just missed a little bit. It just needed a little something more to push it over the edge to make it that 5-star. The climax of it, some parts of it were really kind of predictable, and other parts were just a little lackluster. They just didn't get that little extra bit for me. The climax was a little underwhelming when everything kind of hits the fan. The way that they kind of resolve it happens super fast, and it's just kind of oh, well, if that's all it kind of took, that was kind of anticlimactic for everything that's been going on for the stretch of the book. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was really, it was cute, like I said, and I had fun. But this one, basically, I used for the Clear Your Shit Readathon was for the Lovers card prompt, and that was to read a book you bought because of other book influencers. And the X-Hex has been making the rounds all over BookTube. I've seen it a few times in Instagrams and things like that. So it's been around. Somebody sent it, so that's what I chose for this one. And with that, that is basically it for the week. I am picking up another book, not doing that great with it. So we shall see where that goes. But still a lot more to read. I am clearing my shelves. So that is great, which is what all the readathon is about. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. You know, how are you guys starting off the month? I mean, this is the first kind of official month of summer for many people. Are you know, how are you beating the heat? Is heat coming your way? I'm like, I know it's been, I think, upper 80s here for us, but a lot of overcast days as well. But just, you know, trying to stay cool, not go crazy now that the kids are home from school. But no, just having a lot of fun. And yeah, so what are you guys reading? How are you enjoying the heat? How are you enjoying the start of your summer? Got any special plans? Let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. See ya.